Okay, Bob, I have your buddy's quad here. This is the Airblade Eclair. It's a 2.5 inch. I built this a while back. It's pretty much new, but I've probably flown it maybe 4 or 5 times. And it flies just amazing. One of my better quads that I've had. I did flash butterflight on it, and I think that had a little bit to do with it, why it flies so good. So your buddy's going to need to download the Butterflight configurator. It's the exact same as the Betaflight configurator. It's just called Butterflight. You can get it on GitHub. You can just go to Google and type in, Butterflight configurator and download it there. Let's see. So this was a huge pain in the ass to switch to Spectrum. Oh man. So I had a RXSR in it, and it fit perfectly up here. The RXSR is tiny, but I have now in there a Spectrum 4648, which is quite a bit bigger. Actually, here's one right here. It's quite a bit bigger. Let me grab the RXSR. I'll show you what kind of pain it was. So quite a bit bigger. Yeah. But I got it to fit. What I had to do was rip the plug off of the receiver and direct solder it, and then direct solder the wires going a different way so that it would fit. So you can see it's pretty much the exact same length as the room that you have in here, which is pretty awesome. But it'll only fit if you pull the connector off. So, and I got some foam tape on the bottom of it, so it's in there, it's secure, it's not going anywhere. And this is the auto bind one, so it's very easy to bind. Probably one of the easiest receivers that there is out of all receivers to bind. So this one's already bound up to my radio. First I'm going to show you what you need to do in your radio so that everything works out right. So this is what your buddy's going to do, unless he already knows, but I don't know if he knows a lot about his setup. So anyway, so you're gonna turn on your radio, click this button. You're gonna go down to control setup, click it. For travel, you want all these to say 150. Altitude, roll, pitch, and yaw, you want to change all those to 150. I think they're at 100 stock, so put them all to 150. Go up here to travel, click on it, scroll over to reverse. Okay, and you're going to reverse roll and yaw. So those two, you can see that they're reversed from the other channels. Roll and yaw need reversed. Okay, then you're going to go back, you're going to go down to system setup, click on that, yes. Go down to frame rate, click on it, make sure it says 11 ms, 11 milliseconds, and DSMX. Okay, there's also 22, but you want it on 11. Okay, go back, let's see, go back again, click the scroll wheel again, and go down to I guess it was in the system setup. Right here to channel assign, click on that, go down, go to next, click next, go down to number 6, which is auxiliary 1, and change that to what you want your flight mode switch to be. Now I choose this as my flight mode switch. That's why, see, this is named B, so that's why mine's on B, because that's what I use for my flight modes. But what you can do is just click on it and then flip any switch, and it'll change to that switch. Okay. And that's it. That should be all that you need to do. Okay, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the quad and you're going to plug a battery in. This can take 3S or 4S, but I would recommend 3S. I use the 650 milliamp hour 3-cell. All you have to do, turn your radio off, plug in the battery, and wait. After it does those 3 beeps, you can pick up the quad and you can look in here and see if the light is flashing. And there it goes. It started flashing. You can see it right there. That means it's ready to bind. So all you have to do is hold down the bind button and turn the radio on and hold it about 2 feet away. As soon as it says that, you can let go of the button, and now it's bound. And then this back switch is arm. So let's arm it. There you go. Disarm. So now it'll always be bound as long as you turn on your radio first. If you turn on the quad before the radio, then it's going to go into bind mode. But if you turn on your radio first, let me demonstrate that. So I'm going to turn the radio off. I'm going to plug the quad in. And you can see there it goes. It went into bind mode. So let me turn the radio on. I don't know actually what happens if it... I think it stays in bind mode. Yeah, see? I turn my radio on. It's still in bind mode. But now watch this. Unplug it. Turn the radio off. Actually, I probably could have left the radio on. Actually, no, because then it would start flashing and it would be like a warning, like something bad happened, you know. So I'll turn the radio on first. Okay, and then I'll plug in the battery. And there you go, it's bound up. You can see the LED solid, which means it's bound. So just always turn your radio on first, then plug the quad in, and then it'll be bound up every time. So we'll arm it again. It's good to go. It's on air mode, so if you throttle up and then put the throttle back down, the motors are going to start rising, and that's what it does in air mode. That's completely normal. I've had so many people tell me that they think there's something wrong because the motors start revving up, but it's completely normal for air mode. I'll show you. So I'll rev up. See, the throttle's all the way down, but the motors are still going up. That's what air mode does. So that's not a problem. Just put the props on and go fly. The video, I'll show you the video real quick. The VTX has 25, 200, 400, and 600 milliwatts. The channel it's on right now is R3. And there you go. So this camera is one of my favorite cameras right now. It's the Monster Micro. It is an amazing camera. To change channels on the VTX, you have a button right here, or smart audio is also hooked up, but you can't really do... Oh yeah, you can. So you can do smart audio through your goggles, and it tells you when you first plug in on the OSD. It'll say to go to the menu, you go throttle mid, yaw left, and then pitch forward. That brings up the menu, and then you scroll down till you get to where it says smart audio. Then go over right stick to select it, and then go down to where the band and the channel is, and then select it this way. Then you go down and hit save, and then you go down and hit exit and save or whatever, and it'll save it. So there you go. I know you sent me your CSX to replace the motors. I do have the motors already right here. I haven't seen a set of these motors in a long time. Probably since I sold you that CSX. I love these motors. They're awesome. These motors are so badass on a 3-inch, a light 3-inch. Oh my god. With 4S. That was my favorite setup for a long time. Love these motors. So yeah, when your CSX comes, I'll swap out the 2 motors and I will send both the quads together. and I'll send you over tracking. I don't know when the CSX is going to arrive, but whenever it does, they'll both ship the following day. So, all right, thanks, Bob.